Hi, I'm Nissa from Wild Earth Travel. In 2023, our partners at Pandaw Expeditions introduced a new river cruise down the mighty Brahmaputra. They were looking to find something a little different to their Ganges experience, which holds its own with a trademark India exploration of culture, cities, and hustle and bustle. By contrast, Brahmaputra Voyage has definitely achieved something quite unique and exciting with its national park safaris, village life explorations, and a generally slower India experience. See why this inaugural season was sold out as you enjoy our presentation with Pandaw.
Thank you for joining. My name is James from Pandaw, and I just want to have a quick talk today about our Brahmaputra cruise up in northeastern India. Um, as I was talking to our friends at Wild Earth, we were chatting about my recent trip. I recently did a trip on this itinerary, and they just thought it'd be a good idea for me to have a quick chat about my experience, the itinerary, and kind of my thoughts on it. So this is why we're here, and I thought it was a great idea. So if you don't know who Pandaw are, we are a river cruise specialist in Asia. We've been sailing around Asia for almost 30 years now, mainly across Myanmar, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, but we've also been sailing in India for the last couple of years as well. And the Brahmaputra is one of our newer itineraries, which was launched in October 2023. So we've been sailing that for a good 6 months now, and it is probably one of our more interesting and exciting itineraries. And one of the main reasons for this is what you'll see here. It's the opportunity to do some jeep safaris. This part of India is rich in natural life. We have a couple of national parks that we visit during the cruise itself. One of them being Kaziranga National Park. This place is actually home to some of the largest numbers of rare animal species in India, including the one-horned Indian rhino. There's plenty of elephants and also the Bengali tiger. They're quite elusive. You might not see tigers. However, there is so much wildlife to be seen. I was actually very surprised myself when I did the trip how much wildlife you do see. So the Brahmaputra itself, a lot of questions I get are about where this is. It is in India. However, it's in the northeastern part of India, which almost looks like a separate country itself, but it is still attached to the main part of India and is still very much part of India still. It does have its own customs, people, traditions, so it's quite a unique part of India. And it's located kind of sandwiched between China, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. So the Brahmaputra River itself, it does start in China, and it comes through and it sails through all of northeastern India. The part that we sail on is in the state of Assam, which is the main state of northeast India, and where a lot of the national parks are and a lot of the points of interest are along this river. So our cruise is a 7-night cruise. We start and end in Guwahati, which is the main travel hub for northeastern India. So there are multiple flights every day in and out of Delhi, Kolkata, and many other cities across India into Guwahati. So it's very easy to connect to. If you're flying from anywhere in the world, you can fly into Kolkata, Delhi, and get an easy connection over to Guwahati. So it's quite easy to get to. You don't have to spend days in Guwahati itself. You can go straight from the airport to the ship, and on disembarkation, go straight from the ship to the airport for your connecting flights. It's a great itinerary. The area is very remote and pretty untouched. There's not many tourists that you will see, and it's one of those places where you go that you are one of the main attractions for the locals. They are very interested to see you. They're very thankful that you're visiting their country and specifically their area, because again, it's quite an underdeveloped area, but it's a place of immense natural beauty. Like I said, we've got a couple of national parks that we visit. One of them is Kaziranga. The other one is Nimiri National Park. So it's a bit more of a river safari. We'll take a small float trip down one of these small rivers. in the background is all of the blue mountains in the Himalayas. It's an absolutely stunning scenery. The wildlife is a little less in this because we're just sort of floating down the river. It's quite hard to see, but there is plenty of bird life, and again, the scenery is just unbelievable. So it's a really, really nice way to spend a morning. But obviously, Kaziranga is the main attraction, and we will actually be doing a full day um, safari at Kaziranga for next season. So we'll be doing a morning safari and an afternoon safari, just to double our chances of potentially seeing tigers. It is still very rare, but actually on my trip, some of our group on the cruise, they did actually see a tiger,
Mm.
and this is pretty incredible because for the entire cruise season since we started in October, none of our guests have seen a tiger, and so it was pretty special to actually see one. Although I didn't see it myself, but again, it is very, very rare. But just doing the extra afternoon safari as well, that's hopefully going to double our chances. So you will see plenty and plenty of wildlife. I saw hundreds of elephants, hundreds of rhinos. It's an incredible place.
Mm.
And I just kind of want to show you a few of the pictures that I'd taken. I took a few pictures and videos during my cruise. I just want to show you some of them. And explain a little bit about this. So the first picture on the top left, I think kind of accurately describes the scenery that you will see on the river. The Brahmaputra itself is a vast and wide expanse of water. On some days, you might not see both sides of the river. You will barely be able to see one side of the river. Depending on the time of the year you come and the season, it can be in flood, and the width of the river can be miles and miles and miles. It can be a bit dusty as well when it's not rained, so it is a very varying climate, and the scenery does go from vast. Sometimes it looks like you're sailing through a desert. It's pretty incredible, but then also you come through and you see the mountains. So it's just it's like no place I've ever been before. It's very, very interesting. As you see in the second picture, there's also plenty of things to see as we sail along. This was a temple on the cliff just by the river. So that was a pretty incredible sight. This was nearby a village that we also stopped at. And then obviously, again, some of the main attractions, the jeep safaris through Kaziranga National Park. You do get up close and personal with these animals. On the jeep is a naturalist. Every jeep has a local guide naturalist with them, so they kind of take us around to the best parts to see some of these animals. They are kind of used to seeing tourists, so it's not too much danger, but we do keep our distance. Um, and as I said, the sheer number of animals that you see is honestly incredible. I don't think you would see that many on a safari in the Serengeti or anything like this. It is truly an incredible place. And again, similar to where that buffalo is running across the road, this is where one of our group saw a tiger just casually crossing the road. Again, due to the speed of it, they didn't get any pictures. Otherwise, I would show you that. But
Yeah.
they swear that they saw it, and I have no reason to disbelieve them. On the ship as well, we tried to keep you plenty entertained. There was a spice demonstration from our head chef, which was really, really interesting, going through all of the spices that are used in everyday cooking in India. He actually tried to get us to guess what they were, and we all failed miserably because there is so many spices and things that are used in Indian cooking. It's incredible. The again, as with any Pandaw cruise, it's you are very well fed, and you will probably come off the ship a little heavier than when you went on. And obviously, we'll try to localize all of the food. So everything on board, there are Indian options, but there are also Western options if you need, or if you need a break. I opted for the Indian options most days, and I was not disappointed in any way possible. We also have a sandbank party on one of the days. Again, the Brahmaputra River, it's quite a changeable river, so there are sandbanks that appear one day and will disappear the next day. So the locations, the captains basically look at the river and they see a sandbank and they say, okay, well, we can stop here for the evening and we have a little walk around. And again, it's like being on your own mini deserted desert. It's quite an incredible place. And then finally, on another day, our chef, we keep him well busy. He come and give us a bit of a samosa making demonstration for all of the guests. So we went from the very beginning of the process through to eating several samosas. It was a great way to spend an afternoon and very, very tasty as well. The chef is very good and he's very good at entertaining the guests when we have a couple of hours of sailing. So there's plenty to do if we're not off the ship. When we are off the ship as well, there is plenty to see. So on the top left, this is actually a picture of Namiri National Park and some of the boats that we were taking down the river. I managed to jump off early and take some pictures. It's a really, really great place. The scenery is unbelievable. As I said, you probably don't see too many of the mammals, but you see plenty of birds. So if you're interested in birds, make sure you've got your binoculars and a good telescopic lens on your camera, and you'll see plenty of kingfishers, hornbills, and plenty of other birds as well. We have a silk weaving village that we went to. That's in Sualkuchi, next to Guwahati. Really interesting place. They're kind of hiring local women from the region to come make scarves, saris, things like that from um, local special silks. Again, there's unique silks from this region, which is I didn't even know about. It's a Yeah, it's a very interesting place, and they make the whole range of items. They're available to buy as well. I again bought plenty of things myself for my wife when I come home, so it's a great place. And as again with all Pandaw cruises, we like to immerse our guests in the local culture, and part of that is the local cultural dances and traditions. We welcome a few people on board on several days of the cruise. Actually, we you see plenty of dances. I'll put it that way. But that's just because there is so much unique culture to this area. There's plenty to see, which is completely different to each other. So in the top right is one of the more traditional dances of the Assam region. And again, you'll see they're dressed in the red and white, which is the traditional kind of colors and clothes of Assam. If you're lucky, you can buy one of these scarves, and anyone in India will know that you've been to Assam. It's kind of a very distinct thing from the region. And then in the bottom right is one of the local dances on the shore. I think this was actually at the silk weaving village itself. So this is a traditional dance about fishing. Again, it was very colourful, very entertaining, and it was very nice. Some of the other excursions that we did, actually, we walked through a Sualkuchi village. So this is a local riverside village, which is actually it's actually home to some of the migrant populations. So from Bhutan and Bangladesh, there's a lot of migrants that come into the area just to work, and there happened to just be a large concentration of them in one place. So much so that the government actually decided to set up a separate town for them, just to give them permission to live and work because they were contributing to the local economy. So they were welcomed and they were kind of settled in one place. So we walk around this village, we have a little chat to some of the people. It's a very nice story, and it's a very nice village as well. So that's just a few of the excursions, a few of the things that we see. So in addition to the 7 night cruise, we've actually just launched a new 10 night cruise, which actually sails a little bit further. So on the 7 night cruise, we sail to the Kaziranga National Park and then return to Guwahati. So from next season, we will actually have a few limited number of cruises which are going to sail directionally from Guwahati up to Dibrugarh. So this is quite far up the Brahmaputra, and it's quite a unique and adventurous itinerary. So if you are looking for something a bit more adventurous, then this would probably be the one for you. Um, we go up to Majuli, which is I think it's the largest river island in the world. I think that's been stated several times. It's a wonderful place. It's full of very unique culture, and it's got very interesting history as well. So this is just a bit of a new itinerary as well. If anyone is looking for something very completely different, something which might be changeable again because it's quite a changeable river, sailing this far up, it's never really been done before, and that's kind of what Pandaw focuses on, trying to push the boundaries and take you a little bit further than you would normally. So for those who are interested in a 7 night cruise, we do have that circular cruise available, but we also have this new option as well, just in case, starting from next season. And again, it stops at many of the places that I've mentioned already, but just takes you a little bit further and adds a few extra things on further upstream. So I'll end there.